Alright everyone, I got the camera as far away from this box as I can. This is a very large box. It's the 1/60th Strike Freedom Lightning Edition. Okay, it is a pre-lit model kit from one of the Gundam shows. I lose track of it. Destiny, right up there. I know I've seen it, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it. I like the Strike Freedom. Anyhow, moving into the box. It is a big box because this is a big model. It's 1/60th scale. That's the same scale as most perfect grade kits. While I don't think this is a perfect grade in and of itself, it's a no grade kit, which means Bandai was doing something or another, trying something with it, and they didn't want to grade the kit. Probably the lighting system. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move the box. So we have some place where we can set things. We're going to go through these directions real quick so we may see them. Like usual, I will zoom the camera in a little bit, but not much because this is magazine sized, these directions. We open them up, you get your sprue map. Now, that's not the only sprue map. There are 2 pages of sprue maps because there are a lot of sprue on this, and some of these parts are quite large. We have the lighting system down here. This is unlike their current versions of the lighting systems where everything has plugs on them. These don't look so much like they are plugs. Okay? They just don't. And we have a lot of sprue. We're going to go through the sprue in a minute. Now we've got some directions over here on how to put things together. There are some numbering systems here which are probably the steps, like the base is step 1. I suspect the head is step 2. There are some warnings about the LEDs and tools here. Now I don't speak Japanese, so we're going to have to work with it. Pretty much, I think it's warning me not to put too much voltage on this. The battery box holds 3 batteries. You know, with an LED, if you're not sure what voltage the LED can take, what you do is you start at 1 volt and slowly increase the voltage until it lights up. So if they're saying this is how you test, they're probably right because the battery box takes 3 batteries and they're only using 2 to test with. That should be a lower voltage than the LED is designed for. Okay? Let's come over here. Step 1 is build the stand. Now the one thing I'm questioning here is this guy removable from the stand? We've got wires going up, and they look like that, yes, it will be removable from the stand, which will be good. He won't light up if you take him off the stand, but it looks like there's a plug system on it. Okay? Step 2, yep, I was correct on those big orange numbers. They are the steps. Step 2 is building the head here. Okay? There should be some lighting in the head because his eyes should light up, and it looks like there is an LED that goes in there. There's a coin cell that goes in there, so his head does light up right there. There's a coin cell, so his head will light up independently of the rest. And you'll be able to turn it on and off independently of the rest of the Gundam. That's interesting. I'm okay with that, though. It doesn't mean buying coin cells occasionally, which I'm not a fan of, but it does say the battery number right there. Coming down in here, we start building the arms. There is an LED in each arm, and that's the fun part, making those arms posable while the wiring goes through the arms. We look up over here. You're building the arm number 2. Nope, this is still 1 arm. Oh boy. 1 arm, running those wires all through that arm is going to be quite fun. And the hand has individual fingers on it, so the fingers will be able to move separately. A 1/60th scale perfect grade, I'm pretty sure, is the same thing. So that is not unwelcomed, being able to pose those fingers separately. And then the other arm's going to be very similar. Okay? As we go through and build the other arm, it is very similar, and again the fingers are independent. Then you start on the legs down here. Okay, now there's a lot of clear parts. The inner frame on this guy is clear for lighting purposes, and one of the things that worries me is light blocking. Will we have light leaks? We will find out if and when I get to building this guy, if there's light leaks, and the light leaks will be fun to take care of. because that means paint. And when you've got moving parts on Gundams, as I found out when I built the gun tank, you don't like that because the paint moves on the parts and rubs the parts. Okay? So up here we're building the rest of the legs. There is one LED in each leg by the appearance of it, not more than one. And the clear parts are supposed to carry that light throughout. That's what I'm assuming they're doing. I don't see more than one LED per leg. Okay? When we get to the chest, we kept gathering up all our wiring in the chest. It has a wiring schematic there. There is an LED for the chest. It looks like a big one. I'm hoping these are LEDs and not wheat bulbs. If they're wheat bulbs, I'm replacing them with LEDs, which will be even more fun redoing all this. But I'm pretty sure they're LEDs. And you assemble the chest. You have to be careful when you do your wiring here. And you put your arms and legs on there. And again, the wiring all comes in through the chest, and they're telling you to be careful how you wire it together, that there are certain symbols on each ends of each wire. I haven't gotten to them yet, so I don't know what they look like for putting the wiring together correctly. And then they talk about putting the stand on. Now, it looks to me like when he goes on the stand here, that part of the stand is part of the Gundam frame. I'm not sure. I will have to see. But it kind of looks that way, which means he doesn't come off the stand. And then you got your centerfold here, showing you different aspects of the Gundam from the anime. And then we put the head on the body. Now we start building the wings on the back. Okay? No LEDs on the wings, so these should be pretty straightforward. There is a lot to them, however, because, well, there's a lot of wings there. One disappointment, the lightsabers, the beam sabers, they're not called lightsabers, they're called beam sabers. Keep that in mind. Different show. The beam sabers don't appear to light up. But I know on eBay you can buy light up 1/60th scale handles. So if you really want them to light up, you still can do it. Okay? And then you put the two guns together. No lighting in the guns. And it shows there are separate hands to hold the guns than the ones with the moving fingers. So that you may put the guns in the hands. Because the fingers won't bend. The fingers move like this. Not like this. Okay? And the guns, of course, mount on the side. Nope, those are just the side mounted cannons. Okay? And putting the arms together and putting him on the base. And then you got your marking guide for what few markings. Gundams usually don't come with many markings. Usually have to order that aftermarket. There's the end of the directions. Long set of directions. Well, there's a lot to put together. Okay? Let's start looking at the box and seeing what we get inside a box. First set of sprue. Bandai's typical multicolor. Okay, I'm not going to open the bags on this one. Well, I don't want parts everywhere. That's why I'm not going to open the bags. We have the guns. There's probably 2 sprues of that because there are 2 guns. We have some of the wing pieces. Now, these wing pieces are bigger in some models. Okay. Up next is the inner frame. Now, with the inner frame comes a green baggie that has springs in it. As far as I can tell, yeah, there's springs in that bag. The springs have to do with electrical, probably the contacts for the battery. This is a goldish color, somewhat transparent, so that it can move light through. Okay? Here's the stand, the battery compartment. And you can tell that stand has got to give him enough clearance for his feet. This guy is not small. I don't know how tall he's supposed to be. Because the box is all in Japanese. Well, there is some English on there. But he's not going to be a small model. You can tell that by the wings also. Because, look, you put the wings with the stand, there has to be clearance on there. So this guy is going to stand, a good foot and a quarter tall, 1.5 feet tall. He's not a small model. I'm only going through half the box right now. Here's the markings. So it does give a full sheet of markings with stickers. Okay? And this is the chest piece right there. So this is quite a bit bigger than your typical Gundam. More wing parts. We have a full set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 sprue that have wings, wing parts. Leg parts, I would have to assume. And more inner frame parts. Another sprue of wing parts, and we have the beam sabers in here. They're fairly large, so yeah, this is not going to be a small model. Not at all. This will be a fun one to build too. And at this point, I'm only halfway through the box. Here's some more body parts. Now, these have a shiny finish on them, which means this is a finished model. Bandai does coatings on their parts at times. These parts have coatings, which means you're going to have to be very careful when you remove the sprue. Some of these are undergated. What I mean by undergated is the gates attached behind the parts. That is good. Bandai usually takes some time on their higher end kits with attachment points to the sprue. What I mean by undergated, let's see if this will show clearly through the plastic. I think it will. You can see this is gated right on the edge, and it's a very small gate. But if we look at, and I'm trying to find a good example of it. Oh, I'm not seeing it. Nope, not seeing it on this one. Well, again, the attachment points are very tiny and on the edges. Ah, there's a bad one. Nope, they're not. They're still right on the edge. I like seeing all those attachment points for this sprue right on the edge of the part, sprue marks. Simply because they're easy to clean up that way. And one of the things I don't like about big model kits like this, you never get them back in the box the way you pulled them out. So the box never closes. Alright, inner frame parts for the legs. Molded in that goldish yellow again. So when the LEDs hit it, it should glow gold. Another sprue of wing parts. I expected 6. I got 6. There is a shield effect part here that is, you can hardly see it through the bag, but my fingers are on either end of this thing. It is big. Okay? Because this guy had an energy shield. More wing parts. We haven't got to any of the electronics yet. There is the polycaps. The polycaps allow the joints to move on this guy. Foot parts. Here are the parts for his boots. He's going to have good sized boots on him. More leg parts, more coated parts. Now, Bandai does bag parts separately so that you have a place to keep them, so they don't get scratched. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to move them out. If they're coated like that, I want to move them out. This stand is going to have to be painted. Lots of tide marks and molding. You can't feel that. That's just tide marks where the plastic was moving through the mold mark as it cooled. So this definitely is going to have some paint. No way around it. But it's the first thing I see with those tide marks. Nothing else has them. And another bag of clear parts, inner frame parts, so that you can do the lighting. Here's the bag of the lights and all electronics. Okay? And I'm trying to look in there and see what we have. I'm going to have to open this. There's no way to tell what it is without opening it. Give me 1 second, and I will get it open. Because I don't know where there it goes. Ooh. Okay, here's the metal parts for the stand. The lights are what I want to see. Here's some of the lights. Right here. That does not look like an LED. I can't tell. I'd have to plug it in to see. But it does not look like an LED. I'm going to have to read the box and see what these lights are. They're definitely specialized if you look at them. You can't see it because of the white background here. Let me put these parts aside and pull this out because you'll be able to see better with a black tabletop instead of a white tabletop. Okay, they don't look like LEDs to me. If they're wheat bulbs, I definitely going to want to solder them out and replace them. But if they got polarity and they have polarity on them, they could be LEDs. I won't know until I really pull them out of the box, out of the bags, and take a good hard look at them. But they appear to be LEDs. Not sure. Not 100% sure. But they do have polarity to them. So there could be LEDs molded inside there. Hard to say. Let's take a look at the box and see what the box says. I never found the LED for the head, but that doesn't mean anything either. So there's 5 light bulbs right there. Now, if we read on the box, and I know I need to get going because I had someone knocking on the door a second ago. I'm not seeing anything on the box about it. Big scale, 600 millimeters wide, 500 millimeters tall. That's half a meter. Condensed rays of light, full scale. Arms and legs, lightning mold. It doesn't say anything. I don't see LED in English anywhere. So I'm not sure what light bulbs they're using. Someone more knowledgeable than me on this thing will tell me in the comments. That we can be sure of. Okay? Well, anyhow, I got to get downstairs. I know I was being caged by the wife a second ago. And you don't want to hold her up. Hope you enjoyed a look at the Strike Freedom Gundam. I'm going to have more reviews coming out in the next week or two. I've had a request for all the black hole models to get a review. I don't think any of them are sealed in their boxes, which means I will review them. If they were sealed in the box, there would be no review of them because, well, you don't break a seal on a model like that. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you later.